there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. And I'll take some time, but I'll be alright. Moving on, moving on. I
Good afternoon to all the parents sitting here and also who are present with us today online. We at WSS welcome you all for the IGCSE Options Event 2023. The purpose of this meeting is to make you and your child ready for the future, as our Year 9 students will soon expand their academic knowledge and step into Key Stage 4 by the end of this academic year. The transition from Key Stage 3 to Key Stage 4 is an important, challenging, yet exciting time. As for the first time in your education, students can choose where and what to study. But before we go ahead into details, I would request all of you to stand for the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Now let us listen to beautiful Quran recitation by Hatim Mahmood of Year 9 BS1.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حميم والكتاب المبين. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة مباركة. إنا كنا منزلين. فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم. أمرا من عندنا. إنا كنا منزلين. رحمة من ربك. إنه هو السميع العليم. رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين. لا إله إلا هو يحيي ويميت. ربكم ورب آبائكم الأولين. بل هم في شك يلعبون. فارتقب يوم تأتي السماء بدخان مبين. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Hatim. Now, before we begin, these instructions are for the parents available with us on live stream. Listen to the presentation till the end of the session. Option form has been already uploaded. If you have any query, please type it in the chat box. We have our members to attend to your queries. However, if any of your queries are unanswered, you can write to the email addresses which will be shared in the presentations after this event. Now I would request our Vice Principal, Mr. Shujahat Munir, to commence the program by the welcome speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Afternoon, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I think it's very important that as parents, guardians, we understand the importance of the IGCSE options, okay? I always say that our education is a passport to opportunities. So this is something that you have to remember, something that you will have to research along with your children as well. So what are their options when they leave school? Where are they going to study further? Is it in their home country? Is it in a country abroad? Where do they plan to live later? Is it in the UAE? Or are they planning to move to a different country? There are so many things you have to think about. But one of the biggest things is your education is like your passport to opportunities. So the same way your IGCSE options, I had to think about this myself. So when I was making these choices, as well as choosing subjects that I really enjoyed, because I was good at them, I had to choose subjects that I really needed for courses that I was able to do. And by choosing these options, I gave myself different options of courses that I could get into, whether it be medicine, engineering, etc. So do not confine yourself to one specific area. And also, it's very, very interesting if you look at things like jobs that will be in demand in the future. Okay? When you look at these, not everyone is going to become a doctor. Not everyone's going to become a dentist, right? There are people that are data cloud engineers that are making amazing money and traveling the world. There are people that are in cybersecurity. There are so many fields out there that we actually don't tap into because we forget that they exist. But these are opportunities for our students that they can go into. Again, it's something that we should all research, and that's why we have a team of professionals across the school with different events which support our students. So again, thank you very much. Make the most of this afternoon. Ask as many questions as you need, and hopefully our students as well take a lot away from this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sujahat, for your thoughtful and experiences and ideas shared. As Malcolm rightly said, education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. And on this note, let us look at the requirements by Ministry of Education to graduate in 2023 and beyond. For this, I would request the Secondary Assistant Principal, Mr. Alfred Franklin, to talk about the MOE requirements.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much for taking your time to come in. What I'm going to say now is very important part because there is a compliancy requirement from the local education authority that if a student is completing IGCSE program, what should they get at the end of the program to go further in their studies. Now I'm going to speak about two different things. Number one, the subjects that are given by the Ministry of Education or local education authority, which is compulsory for every student to do. And the second one is the IGCSE program, that is the subjects that we will give Cambridge examinations to. So these two are two different things. So whenever I say the number of subjects, if it is IGCSE, I'll mention that it is Cambridge examination program, and also I will mention if it is local subjects, I will mention that very specifically. If you have any questions, at the end we will answer. Now, the most important requirement of the local education authorities, if a student is completing IGCSE course, that is 2 years, they should have minimum 5 IGCSE subjects with a passing grade of A star to D. Along with that, they also will have to study the 3 ministry compulsory subjects, which is Arabic, Islamic, and UAE Social Studies. These 3 subjects will not be counted into that 5 required subject. At WSS, we give a total number of 6 IGCSE subjects plus 3 local subjects. So it will totally 9 subjects they will be learning. Now, ministry also has a specification if you have to finish your IGCSE. There are some compulsory subjects the students should do. Number 1 being English language, number 2 being mathematics, and number 3, any one of the science subjects. So, any one science means physics, chemistry, or biology. If you look at our options form, you will know that. So, any one of the science subject. Apart from that, we are giving 2 other subjects additional to that. So totally it makes 5, but at WSS we give 6 to be on the safer side, because if any one of the subject, if the student is not scoring enough marks, then there will be a lot of difficulty in getting the required equivalency. So we give them 6 subjects. The passing grades is A star to D. That's all is the requirement from the ministry, and Ms. Rija will be telling you about further options that we have, the things that we offer.
Thanks, Prateek. Thank you, parents, for joining us, and all the parents who've joined us online. As would have been communicated to you, there was a session which was held with the students yesterday so that they could understand the options as well. So all the students at WSS are expected to study 6 subjects, even though the ministerial criteria was explained by Mr. Franklin says 5. We expect them to study 6 subjects, and for entering into A-level options, 6th form options of WSS, the student has to clear all 6 subjects with A star to D. Ministry Arabic, UAE Social Studies, and Islamic Studies for students who follow Islam is mandatory. Group sizes, now this is something we want all of you to really pay attention to. Any subject where the group size is less than 20 might be discontinued, even though it appears in the options now. Group size of 20 is mandatory for us to have a proper class running. Hence, in the option forms, we will request you to give the order of your preference in the final block. Entry into examinations, external examinations, that is IGCSE and Edexcel, comes with a fee, and that fee details would be communicated to you closer to the exam when the child reaches year 11. In the month of December, examination officer, Mr. Francis, will send out all the payment details to you. Why we are mentioning that now is that it does substantiate to a certain amount, and sometimes parents are not planned with that kind of budget. We have very limited time to complete the registration, so we do send reminder somewhere from the month of November about the expected payment. Subject changes, we have spoken that to the students as well. We do not generally permit subject changes once the option forms have been submitted. There is a certain taster sessions organized for students for the new subjects that they've never studied before. For economics, for accounting, for business studies, and subjects that they've never felt or experienced before. We organize a week of taster session just for the students to make those fine decisions. However, since they have already studied science, math, and English, we wouldn't be organizing any taster sessions for the core subjects. Year 13 and any of the UK curriculum school is mandatory for students to step into university. As was explained by Mr. Franklin, that is also required for them to get an equivalency certificate or school completion certificate. So after year 11, students will step into year 12 and 13, which will have AS and A-level curriculum. So that details would be shared once the students reach year 11. Let's step into the next slide. So all of you, we would want you to pay attention onto the documents that's been given to you while registration. You all have a hard copy of it. Please go through the document with us so that if there are any queries that are arising, you can discuss that with us in the end of the meeting. So the first A, block A, has got all compulsory subjects, and there is nothing that you can choose or unpick there. The student will be studying all ministry subjects, and mathematics is also a mandatory subject. The code numbers that is given at the side of the IGCSE are the specifications that you can find in depth in the CIE website, and that gives you the details of the syllabus as well. So the code that we follow at school from CIE is 0580. So these are compulsory subjects and they will be studying all of them. However, let me repeat, the 3 MOE subjects will not be counted into the 6 subjects which is mandatory apart from of IGCSE. Math is an IGCSE subject, all the other 3 are MOE subjects. In block B, English is a mandatory subject. However, at WSS, we give you an option of choosing either from the first language or the second language. There is a FAQ which was shared with the parents. It's shared with the parents as well, which tells you how do we recommend a child to take English first language or second language. However, this is the students' and parents' choice, but we do make recommendations looking at what the child's predictions, CAT predictions, and current performance is. That's just a recommendation. However, you do have the choice to choose between the first language and second language. Again, the specifications are mentioned in the document. You can always go home and check onto it. From the block C, since one science is mandatory, we have kept that in a block of 3. All of you have to choose one science from there. Only one. Yeah? Why? Because there are certain commerce students who want to study finance and commerce, and they do not have to study the rest of the sciences. So you can take any one of the subjects in that block. And in case the students want to study pure sciences, which majorly is what we have seen so far, you can choose, let's say, in the block C, if you opt for physics, in the block D, you can choose chemistry and biology, and that completes all the sciences. However, in case you do not want to follow that, you can always go for economics, business, or accounting. The only thing that we want you to keep in mind is when you're choosing in option D, please keep the or in mind. You cannot be choosing physics and business studies. It'll be physics or business studies. This is how our timetable runs. So at the same time, physics and business studies run parallel to each other. So if you're opting for business, you might not be getting physics at the same time. So please make that bifurcation very carefully. And the last block, which is additional subjects, we offer art and design, computer science, Arabic is first language, food and nutrition, business studies kept here again because some parents do like to study sciences, some children also like to study sciences with business, geography and psychology being introduced into the school for the first time, and which is being offered from the edXL board. Hence the grading is from 9 to 1, unlike CIE where it is A star to G. I think that completes our options, and after we finish the discussions, do we have a Q&A session at the end? Q&A session at the end, or shall we take questions? Yeah. So if you have any doubts in these options, please let us know later. Thank you, Swati.
Thank you, Ms. Shrija, for this detailed and intricate information. Now let's call our esteemed and extremely articulative student council members to talk about subjects in details. They'll be focusing on the content of subjects and the assessment overviews for each subjects.
We have first language English, code 0500. All candidates take 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Candidates will be eligible for grades A star to G. All candidates take paper 1, which is reading. It is of 2 hours with a 50% weightage, and it is of 80 marks. Paper 2 is writing and composition. It is again of 2 hours, 50% weightage, and 80 marks. English as a second language, code 0511. All candidates take 3 components. Candidates will be eligible for grades A star to G. Paper 1 is of reading and writing. It is a paper of 2 hours with a 50% weightage and 60 marks. Paper 2 is listening. It is approximately 50 minutes, 25% weightage, and 40 marks. Paper 3 is of speaking, which is approximately 10 to 15 minutes, 25% weightage, and of 40 marks.
The next course that we will be looking at is mathematics. The course code is 0580. All extended candidates are expected to take 2 papers, paper 2 and paper 4. Paper 2, non-calculator, is a 2-hour paper with a total of 100 marks and 50% weightage, where the use of a calculator is not allowed. Paper 4, calculator, is a 2-hour paper with a total of 100 marks and 50% weightage, where the use of a scientific calculator is required. The course contains 2 assessment objectives. AO1 has a weightage of 40 to 50%, and AO2 has a weightage of 50 to 60%.
For the science subjects, we have physics, code 0625, chemistry, code 0620, and biology, code 0610. The Cambridge IGCSE Chemistry, Physics, and Biology syllabus enables learners to understand the technological world in which they live in and take an informed interest in science and scientific developments. Learners gain an understanding of the basic principles of these subjects through a mix of theoretical and practical studies. They also develop the understanding of the scientific skills essential for further studies at Cambridge International A level. All candidates must enter for 3 papers. Paper 2 extended, which is a multiple choice question paper of 45 minutes and a weightage of 30%. Paper 4 extended is a theory paper of 1 hour and 15 minutes and a weightage of 50%. Paper 6 is an alternative to practical of 1 hour and weightage of 20%. Business Studies, code 0450. All candidates take 2 papers. Paper 1 is a short answer and data response paper, weighted at 50%, and a duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes, with 80 marks. Paper 2 is a case study for 50% weightage, also of 1 hour and 30 minutes, and 80 marks.
The next subject is economics. Code is 0455. All the students will take 2 papers. Paper 1 will be a multiple choice questions for 45 minutes and total of 30 marks and 30% weightage. Paper 2 will be a structured questions for 2 hours and 15 minutes and for total of 90 marks, and it will be 70% weightage.
The next course is accounting. The course code is 0452. All candidates are expected to take 2 papers. Paper 1 is a multiple choice paper consisting of multiple choice questions. The paper has a total time duration of 1 hour and 15 minutes, along with 35 total marks and 30% weightage. Paper 2 is a theory-based paper consisting of structured questions. The paper has a total time duration of 1 hour and 45 minutes, total marks of 100, and a 70% weightage.
Art and Design, code 0400. The curriculum is a visual journey where students explore different medium techniques, learn about different artists, and create personalized masterpieces. The areas of study in art and design are still life, figure drawing, color theory, and so on. The materials used will be acrylic paints, charcoal, oil paste, watercolors, and so on. All candidates take 2 papers. Component 1, it is a coursework paper with a 50% weightage and of 100 marks. Component 2 is set for 8 hours. It has a weightage of 50% and 100 marks.
The next course is Computer Science. The course code is 0478. All candidates are expected to take 2 papers. Paper 1 consists of short answer and structured questions about computer systems, and paper 2 consists of short answer and structured questions as well as scenario-based questions on algorithms, programming, and logic. Each paper has a total time duration of 1 hour, 45 minutes, 75 total marks, and 50% weightage.
تقدم لنا المدرسة منهجين للغة العربية كلغة أولى. المنهج الأول هو برقم 3180 حيث يقوم المنهاج على 4 عناصر أساسية: ألف فهم المقروء والاستيعاب، باء الترجمة، جيم كتابة رسالة شخصية، دال كتابة وصف. المنهاج الثاني هو برقم 0508 حيث يحتوي المنهاج على 4 أشياء رئيسية: ألف فهم المقروء، باء التلخيص، جيم النقاش والجدال، دال الوصف والسرد. حيث يتضمن أن يحصل الطالب على ورقتين: الورقة الأولى للقراءة لساعتان مع 50 درجة، الورقة الثانية للكتابة لساعتان مع 50 درجة. The next subject is food and nutrition. Code is 0648. Food and nutrition gives the students the chance to develop their knowledge and skills in an area that is relevant to their own lives, and also through understanding where food and nutrition fits in the modern, changing, multicultural society. And thus, all students will take 2 papers. Paper 1 is a theory-structured questions for 2 hours and a total of 100 marks, and for 50% weightage. Paper 2 is a practical test for 2 hours and 30 minutes with a planning session that is 1 hour and 30 minutes that also has 50% weightage.
The next course is Sociology. The course code is 0495. All candidates are expected to take 2 papers. Both papers are externally assessed and consist of structural-based questions. Paper 1 has a total time duration of 2 hours, including 15 minutes reading time, 80 total marks, and 54% weightage. Whereas paper 2 has a total time duration of 1 hour 45 minutes, including 15 minutes reading time, 70 total marks, and 46% weightage.
Geography code 0460. The aim of the syllabus is to enable students to develop an understanding of location on a local, regional, and global scale, and an appreciation of the Earth, including its people, places, landscapes, natural processes, and phenomena. Paper 1 is on geographical themes. It is of 45% as weightage, with a duration of 1 hour and 45 minutes. It is of 100 marks. Paper 2 is on geographical skills with a duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes and 27.5% as weightage, and it is of 60 marks. And paper 3 is either component 3, which is coursework of 27.5% weightage and 60 marks, or students could do paper 4, which is of duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes and is alternative to coursework with a weightage of 27.5%. It is also of 60 marks.
The last course is Psychology, which is the only course provided by edXL. The course code is 1PS0. The grading is 9 to 1, 9 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. All candidates are expected to take 2 papers. Paper 1 is a written examination of 1 hour, 45 minutes, with a total of 98 marks and 55% of the qualifications. And paper 2 is a written examination of 1 hour, 20 minutes, with a total of 79 marks and 45% of the qualifications. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to hand over the mic to Ms. Swati.
Thank you, Haya. Thank you, Zuha, and thank you, Mariam. That was well explained. And all these details and specifications have already been sent to you in the IGCSE booklet, so you can refer there as well. As a famous person once said, to begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. As complex as it may sound, it's vital to overcome this milestone successfully. And to talk about planning and helping you in taking decisions, I would like to call guidance counselor of our school, Ms. Regina Georgie.
Thank you, Ms. Swati. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. So I'm here to talk about backward planning. It's a great strategy for those who find it difficult to choose from where it needs to begin. So unlike forward planning, which is more task-focused, backward planning is more milestone-focused. So, thank you. So in simple terms, we need to plan from the end to start from where we have to choose the subjects. So in simple terms, if you want to become a doctor, you need to know what masters you need to do, and then you need to know what bachelors you need to do. To do the bachelors, you need to know the subjects that you need to choose for ASA levels, and then comes to the day-to-day, which is choosing the IGCSE subjects. So this could be one of the ways that you could look into if you're really planning on to your child's future, and if it's been difficult to even discuss this with your child, please focus on how you can do backward planning, because it makes it a little more easier. To choose the right subjects now, it's very important, because then they can reach their end goal. And to do that, we have also introduced certain things in school which will help the students as well as you as parents in understanding what subjects would it be necessary to choose the future career path that they have already thought about. We have introduced a platform called UniFrog to the students, which happened a couple of weeks back, and we've already sent out the mails. Parents will receive another mail in regards to what UniFrog is and how to access the platform. All your students have already got their IDs and their passwords, and students have already started working on the platform. Now, UniFrog is a platform which has been exclusively given to all GEM students for free. And it is introduced to students because it's a platform that's got a lot of information on subjects, a lot of information on careers, a lot of information on courses that a child could take in the levels of graduation and post-graduation, to the extremity that it could tell you in a market what job would be the best. Like how Mr. Sujahat had spoken, it's very important to know the job market as well when it comes to choosing a particular field, right? And to know what market would be the best in the upcoming 5 years or 6 years. We will be able to understand that in this particular platform. This platform has got various psychometric tests, such as interest test, personality test, work environment test as well. And it gives you an entire library of all possible careers around the world. And it is said with a research that there are possibly 1 million jobs new jobs, job titles or fields that's going to be coming up by 2030. So all the kinds of careers that is there right now and in the future is been in this, that information is there in the careers library. When it comes to subject library, where I have told the kids already to work on or start reading upon, because the combination of subjects that you choose today or from today onwards will give you an idea what kind of course the child would be able to take and what kind of industry they could look into in the future, right? We also have Ganberry here, which is a consultancy or educational consultancy, which would also give you a face-to-face or a first-hand explanation or guidance on what careers you could look into on basis of the subjects that you've already thought for your child. Now, let's say you said let's say you've planned for science subjects with math, and you want to know what are the possible courses or what are the possible careers that you could look into. We have Mr. Tejas here. He's a senior counselor and the founder of Ganberry, and he will be able to give you a little more guidance on that firsthand. So this is a small start, I could say, for your planning for your child's future. all the best, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Regina. Now, displayed are the details of all the subject heads along with the numbers to represent the counters that have been set along the auditorium. Even though we'll be sending today's presentation for further clarification, the floor is now open for parents to visit the head of subjects seated here if you have any doubts. So, we will also have Mr. Franklin and Ms. Shrija, our assistant principals of secondary, to answer our queries. Thank you so much. Parents can now go to their respective subject heads if you have any more doubts and if you need any clarifications. There's also a refreshment facility at the end of the auditorium. Counter 1 starts from my right side. If anybody wants refreshments, there are refreshment facility available at the end of the auditorium on my right. Thank you so much.